Hey loves, welcome to Soul Confessions Tarot. My name is Moon. If you're new here, welcome to the channel, and thank you so much for joining our spiritual community today. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back, my dear friend. It's always a blessing to connect with you again. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into tonight's message, which I'm really excited to share with you all. Divine Feminine, Spirit has so much they want to share with you today about your journey and where you stand now. The energy around your situation with your ex is coming through with such intensity and clarity, and I need you to know that everything you've been feeling, sensing, and intuiting has been absolutely valid. Your spiritual gifts have been guiding you through this entire experience, even when it felt like you were walking through the darkest of times. Your connection with this masculine energy was complicated and toxic from the very beginning, though the full extent of this wasn't immediately visible to you. There was a complex web of love triangles, deep betrayal, calculated deception, mind games, and layers upon layers of trauma surrounding this entire situation. This person had way too much chaos and darkness in their life, juggling multiple romantic and sexual connections, struggling with various substance dependencies, engaging in manipulative behaviors, practicing deception as if it were an art form, and carrying a spiritual darkness that you couldn't fully comprehend at first because your heart was so pure and trusting. But Divine Feminine, you are genuinely psychic. Your intuitive abilities are real, powerful, and divinely gifted. Every single prediction you made about what would happen in his life has manifested exactly as you sensed it would. The accuracy of your spiritual sight has left him genuinely terrified and in awe of your abilities and power. He now understands that you can see beyond the veil, beyond his masks, beyond his lies, and this realization has shaken him to his core. You offered this person everything, mind. Your authentic love, your unwavering loyalty, your pure heart, your emotional support, your time, your energy, your resources, and your complete devotion. You gave him access to a love so real and powerful that most people never experience it in their lifetime. You opened your heart completely, made yourself vulnerable, and showed him what it means to be truly cherished and adored by someone who sees the best in them. But he chose to trade all of that sacred energy, all of that divine love, for someone who was playing calculated games from the very start. This third party never truly wanted him for who he was as a person. She wasn't interested in his soul, his growth, his healing, or building something meaningful together. Her motivation was purely and simply about breaking you two apart and keeping you permanently separated, because she couldn't bear the thought of you having what she perceived as happiness, success, or fulfillment. She saw you as the chosen one in his life, the woman who was divinely selected to help elevate him, and that recognition triggered something deeply dark, envious, and malevolent within her twisted psyche. This masculine had a profound spiritual test placed before him by the universe, and he failed it catastrophically and completely. When he made the conscious choice to walk away from you, he was walking away from his greatest earthly blessing, his spiritual assignment, his opportunity for genuine transformation and healing. His life has been in absolute shambles, chaos, and decline ever since that devastating decision. The universe immediately began withdrawing its support from his life path, because he rejected what was divinely ordained for his highest good. He finds himself obsessively looking at old photos of you, studying your face, remembering your smile, your laugh, the way you looked at him with such love and adoration. He spends hours rereading your old text messages, analyzing every word you wrote, searching for hidden meanings, remembering the way you used to communicate with him with such warmth and affection. He listens repeatedly to songs that remind him of the beautiful connection you once shared, torturing himself with memories of better times, when he had access to your pure love and authentic energy. The authentic love you offered him was something he had never experienced before in his entire life. No one had ever loved him the way you did, unconditionally, purely, without agenda, without trying to change him or fix him. You accepted him completely, while also inspiring him to become better. But because he was spiritually unconscious and completely asleep, he couldn't distinguish between the real, life-changing love you were offering and the artificial, manipulative illusion this other person was presenting to trap him. You weren't initially aware of his true nature, the shocking extent of his promiscuous past, his risky behaviors, the way he had used and discarded other people, his capacity for deception and betrayal. He worked extremely hard to hide these dark aspects of his character, because he desperately wanted you to see him as someone worthy of your love and respect. He created an entirely false persona, crafting a careful image of who he thought you wanted him to be, while his real self remained hidden behind layers of lies and manipulation. But truth always surfaces eventually, and when you began discovering who he really was beneath the mask, everything became crystal clear. The man you thought you loved didn't actually exist. He was a carefully constructed illusion, designed to capture your heart and exploit your loving nature. He had been wearing an elaborate mask from day one, portraying himself as someone completely different from his authentic self, living a double life that you never could have imagined in your worst nightmares. The depth of his deception was breathtaking and soul-crushing. He presented himself as emotionally available when he was completely unavailable. He claimed to want a committed relationship while actively pursuing multiple other connections. He portrayed himself as honest while lying about virtually everything important. He acted like he was spiritually minded while engaging in the darkest practices. He pretended to be financially stable while being financially reckless and irresponsible. But divine feminine, despite all the pain and betrayal you've endured, you are unequivocally the winner in this entire situation. While they prematurely celebrated what they thought was your downfall, while they laughed at what they perceived as your misfortune, while they believed they had succeeded in destroying your happiness and your future, you have been quietly building something absolutely beautiful and extraordinary with your life. Your abundance is growing exponentially every single day. Your financial situation is improving dramatically. You're being recognized and celebrated for your unique talents and gifts. People are naturally drawn to your authentic magnetic energy. You're attracting opportunities, connections, and blessings that align with your highest good. Meanwhile, they are struggling financially, emotionally, and spiritually, completely trapped in the very web of deception and manipulation they created to try to destroy you. If this message speaks to you, a super thanks of $20, $30, or whatever you like is a beautiful way to support the channel and help me continue sharing guidance from the heart. The third party grew tired of being the secret other woman, the side piece, the one kept in the shadows of this complicated love triangle. Her ego couldn't handle being second choice, so she resorted to darker, more sinister methods to secure her position and eliminate you from the picture entirely. She began practicing spell work, engaging in ritualistic manipulation, and using spiritual warfare to try to bind him to her and destroy your connection with him. But even after achieving what she thought she wanted, even after getting him to commit to her, she remains deeply, desperately, and pathologically insecure, because she knows in her heart and soul that she wasn't his first choice, his true love, or his spiritual match. She knows she had to resort to manipulation, deception, and dark spiritual practices to get him, while you had his heart naturally and effortlessly. This knowledge eats away at her every single day, driving her to increasingly desperate and unstable behaviors. Your ex cannot forgive himself for choosing the illusion over the reality of what you offered him. The guilt and regret consume him daily. When you started seeing through his lies, catching on to his manipulation tactics, recognizing his gaslighting attempts, and questioning his increasingly inconsistent stories, he chose to ghost you rather than face the truth of his actions and take accountability for his choices. This person systematically put you through every single stage of narcissistic abuse with calculated precision. First came the idealization phase, where he put you on a pedestal, made you feel like the most special person in the world, convinced you that you were soulmates, destined to be together. Then came the love bombing, where he overwhelmed you with attention, affection, promises, and declarations of love to secure your attachment and devotion. Next was the devaluation phase, where he gradually began criticizing you, making you doubt yourself, comparing you to others, and making you feel like you were never good enough. Then came the discard, where he suddenly withdrew his love and attention, making you feel abandoned and desperate to win back his approval. Finally came the ghosting, where he disappeared completely without explanation, leaving you confused, heartbroken, and questioning your own reality. But your energy, divine feminine, is naturally healing, powerfully high vibrational, incredibly soothing, energetically magnetic, wonderfully lively, vivaciously alive, dynamically inspiring, and radiantly vibrant. You brought genuine life, authentic joy, pure happiness, and real love into his dark world, and he felt more alive, more hopeful, more inspired, and more connected to his inner child around you than he had ever felt before in his entire existence. Now he's misplacing his anger onto you for the karma he's receiving, not understanding or accepting that the universe is simply balancing the scales and holding him accountable for how cruelly he treated you. He doesn't realize that his suffering is a direct result of his own choices and actions, not something you've caused or wished upon him. He's systematically wasting his life on various destructive addictions and self-sabotaging behaviors. He's spending his money on cigarettes that are destroying his health, sex workers who provide empty physical gratification, drugs that numb his pain temporarily, alcohol that deepens his depression, and gambling that's draining his finances. He doesn't have just one vice controlling his life, but he has multiple destructive habits that are slowly killing him physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The lowest, most devastating blow for you came when he actually joined forces with this third party to work against you spiritually after you courageously walked away from the toxic situation. They began doing spell work together, trying to bind you, curse you, block your blessings, and destroy your happiness and success. You couldn't believe that someone you had loved so deeply and purely could be so evil, so heartless, so spiritually dark, that he would actually try to harm you using supernatural means. But divine feminine, you are completely, absolutely, and powerfully protected by the highest spiritual forces in the universe. Your guides, angels, ancestors, and the divine source itself have created an impenetrable shield around you. Any negative energy, harmful intentions, or dark spiritual work sent your way immediately returns to sender, multiplied threefold. You are untouchable by their evil intentions. Currently, this masculine is in a deep depression. He's awakened to who this other person really is, and deeply regrets choosing darkness over the light you represented. He's trapped in heavy karma, unable to manifest anything positive because he's being held accountable for his cruelty toward you. The wheel of fortune has turned against him, and he's using alcohol to numb the pain, which only makes everything worse. He realizes now that he chose an illusion over true love. The fantasy has crumbled, and he sees clearly that he made the worst decision of his life. He knows he had someone loving, caring, trustworthy, and dependable, and he threw it away for someone manipulative with an agenda. He thought he was the luckiest man alive when he met her, but now feels cursed and miserable. He regrets listening to others, friends, family, and her Morse, who influenced him against you. Now he's angry at them for leading him astray. He's trapped in a mental prison, constantly replaying the past and wondering why he destroyed something so beautiful. This mental anguish is manifesting physically. Meaning is headaches, body aches, financial struggles, and shame about how thoroughly you've seen through his facade. He keeps hoping for contact from you, but it never comes. The thought of you being with someone else torments him. He's feeling his age, tired and depleted from living in the fast lane. His ego has been shattered by your choice to walk away and choose yourself. This third party has him trapped through various means. Mine does spiritual work. She does on him legal ties, children, or financial entanglements. Unlike you, who was a homebody and created a peaceful sanctuary, she's always partying and meeting new people. All the relationship burdens fall on him, while she remains irresponsible. He wishes he had been honest with you from the beginning. Her spending has put him in debt, and he has nightmares about how sloppy he became with his deception, allowing you to discover the truth. Many people now see him as a liar and want nothing to do with him. He has to live in the mess he created, and love triangles like these can become dangerous. You were protected and guided away from this unstable situation before it could harm you further. For some of you, this person refused to commit to you, but married this other person, which broke your heart deeply. You felt betrayed, wondering why he could commit to her, but not to you. But divine feminine, his rejection was actually protection. You were marriage material all along. Mithya simply wasn't worthy of what you offered. You don't miss his arrogance, empty promises, lies, cheating, narcissistic behavior, emotional abuse, or inflated ego. This person became your enemy after aligning with this third party. He wanted multiple options while expecting someone at home to cater to his every need. He wanted the excitement of outside connections while having a woman handle his domestic needs. This is why he led a double life, wanting both the devoted partner and the external validation. He's delusional if he thinks you still miss him or want him back. You have completely closed that chapter of your life. The main reason he committed to her was likely due to spiritual manipulation or practical entanglements. When he lost you, he lost his greatest source of authentic love and emotional support. You were the empath, with compassion, loyalty, and unconditional love. What a mistake it was for him to abandon that. Any negative spiritual work done against you fails, because you are highly protected. It all returns to sender, making her own life unbearable over a man you no longer want. You feel aligned with your purpose now, working in service to spirit, and feeling peaceful, content, and satisfied with your life. Many of you warned this person about karma, and now he's experiencing exactly what you predicted. He has someone new but is still angry that you moved on with your life. This situation forced you to educate yourself about narcissistic behavior, and the more you learned, the more you understood the dynamic. It was the narcissist preying on your empathetic nature. He claimed to be single, promised you a future, said he was done with his past. All lies. You'll never be able to forget the betrayal, but you've forgiven him for your own peace. You received no explanation, closure, or apology, and you've accepted that none is coming. This relationship was definitely the greatest mistake of your life, but it was also your greatest teacher. You knew the universe would handle his karma without you having to do anything. The scales have been balanced. You received your blessings, while he received his consequences. Some of these situations involved significant age gaps, and he still dreams about you even when you're not with anyone. His relationship with his mother was toxic, creating his issues with women and contributing to his confused sexuality. This third party is extremely jealous and controlling, isolating him from friends and family. Your spirit team guided you to remove him from your life completely because all he did was cause you pain. You listened and began your spiritual journey. He claimed to be finished with his past, but always had excuses for why he couldn't move forward. Some of you completely transformed after this experience, changing your appearance, living situation, career, or lifestyle. You light up every room you enter, divine feminine, and your energy is magnetic and healing. This third party enjoyed the idea of stealing him from you, but you were his anchor, his stability, his peace. When faced with disrespect, you chose distance over drama. You didn't argue or try to fight for something that wasn't honoring you. You simply removed your presence from his life with grace and dignity. Some of these masculines will lose everything they have with this third party. He's used to people chasing him, but you never did, and that's exactly why he can't let go of you mentally. People always want what they can't have, and your indifference is driving him crazy. When this third party betrayed him with his friend, it destroyed lifelong friendships and trust. She thought getting pregnant or creating legal ties would secure her position, but it only created more entrapment and resentment. He showed you two different faces, one for the world and one behind closed doors. While he moved on immediately to avoid feeling the loss, you stayed alone to properly process and heal. This led to your spiritual awakening and transformation. You understand that he has no one to blame but himself for how everything turned out. He exhausted your resources, depleted your energy, and then left to explore his options when you had nothing left to give. For some of you, you loved this man more than you had ever loved anyone, but Spirit wants you to know that everything you lost will be returned to you multiplied. He thought he was teaching you a lesson by replacing you, but you taught him the ultimate lesson by walking away and letting the universe handle justice. You washed your hands of him completely and trusted in divine timing and karma. You showed him that he could never come back into your life again. Now he believes in your intuitive abilities, even though he once dismissed them. You are building an empire, divine feminine, and to do that successfully, you need either to be single or with someone who matches your king energy, not someone seeking attention from everyone around them. You didn't realize until the end that you had been in love with a complete illusion, a lie, a fraud, but you handled it with such grace. You detached, let it end, allowed yourself to feel the pain, heal from it, release it completely, and moved on to better things. Some of you feel that, as much as you desire love again, you also appreciate how peaceful your life is when it's just you, when he treated you like you didn't matter. That was all the closure you needed. You are a strong woman who never begs, chases, or settles for less than you deserve. You threw yourself into work after this betrayal, and haven't stopped building since. When he tried to keep you as a backup plan, the universe intervened and removed you from that situation for your protection. You put him on a pedestal and treated him like royalty, but he couldn't appreciate or reciprocate that energy. This third party has threatened him with severe consequences if he leaves, which is why he remains trapped. He will never find another you. Divine feminine, he took money from you and never repaid it. The way he ghosted you was tacky, childish, and showed his true character. This third party could never walk in your shoes or endure what you have endured to become the empress you are today. As an empath, you are highly intuitive, deeply caring, and compassionate. You absorb the emotions of others and can literally feel what they feel. This is why social gatherings drain you, and you need alone time to recover and recharge. He watches to see if you have new love or money coming into your life. She watches to see if he still loves you, Both of them consume spiritual content, hoping to discover if you still have feelings for him, and if he's going to leave her to return to you. He's genuinely scared of what she might do if he tries to escape, because she's made it clear that if she can't have him, no one can. This third party has compulsive stealing behaviors, which indicates deeper psychological issues. She steals for the thrill, and because it makes her feel superior to others, the higher the risk, the more enjoyable it is for her. You became so exhausted from fighting for a connection that wasn't being reciprocated that you made the wise decision to step back and focus on healing. If you ever return to that situation, you would feel stressed, unbalanced, unable to concentrate, impatient, scattered, with racing thoughts, especially at night. If you found value in this video and want to support Soul Confessions Tarot, consider joining me on Patreon. The link is in the video description. Your support truly means the world. Some of you have been hearing about receiving an inheritance or major blessing from the universe, and that time is now here for you. If you are aligned with your purpose, have done the spiritual work, and are serving as a healer or teacher, you will be rewarded. Some of you have already begun receiving these blessings. You tried to help this person heal his demons, but he didn't want help from neither you or the universe. For some in this collective, this third party placed serious spiritual attacks on you, even attempting death spells to remove you from the picture. You have been completely protected from all her evil intentions, and everything she sent has returned to her threefold. She is now experiencing health problems from her own negative spiritual work. How dare this person keep an empress waiting while he entertains someone so beneath your vibration? The universe is now handling his correction for wasting your precious time and energy. You always had that nagging feeling that he was cheating, and that was your intuition and divine guidance trying to protect you. He returned to someone from his past, while lying about being single. Being made to feel like you weren't good enough was cruel, but he was the one who wasn't good enough for you. He treated you like you were naive, thinking he could deceive you without consequence. He didn't realize you possessed spiritual gifts that allowed you to see beyond his mask and discover the truth. You and he are in completely opposite energies now. He is miserable and withdrawn while you are optimistic and thriving. You're investing your time in family, career, business, and developing your self-love and self-worth. Some of you have been in hermit mode, focusing solely on your spiritual development without distractions. This inner work has elevated you to a high spiritual rank, and you should be proud of your dedication. Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Metatron, and Archangel Uriel watch over you daily, divine feminine, guiding and protecting your journey. The angel numbers you've been seeing carry important messages. 888 signifies supernatural support from past loved ones and guardian angels. You are connected to higher power and never alone. 444 means the angels are supporting and guiding you through any challenges. 777 is associated with good luck and fortune. New opportunities are coming. 1221 signifies personal growth, new beginnings, and the importance of maintaining positivity. 911 represents spiritual awakening, transformation, and the ending of one cycle as another begins. Triple zeros represent fresh starts and new opportunities. Let go of the past, as you now have a blank canvas for your intentions and dreams. Embrace new beginnings without fear. 555 means it's time to release old habits, toxic relationships, and limiting beliefs that no longer serve your growth. Step outside your comfort zone and welcome new experiences. 111 is a sign to make wishes and set intentions. The universe is giving you a green light to manifest your desires with full angelic support. For your self-care, Spirit encourages you to embrace progress over perfection, and be gentler with yourself. Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, nightly laugh more, travel and explore new places, keep up with regular health checkups, and surround yourself with positive influences through social media, podcasts, and books that inspire you. Learn about your chakras. Work with healing crystals. Read uplifting real-life stories. And invest in self-development books. Keep your workspace tidy. Try guided sleep meditations. And enjoy cozy movie nights at home. Create a playlist of songs that speak to your soul and make you happy. Print inspirational quotes and display them where you'll see them daily. Write a letter to your ex and then throw it away as a release ceremony. Stop comparing yourself to others and focus on your own abundant journey. Look into turning your passions into career opportunities. You absolutely can do it. So don't doubt yourself. It's okay to decline stressful social invitations. Update your resume if you're unhappy with your job, and take those sick days when you need them. Take scenic drives or road trips. Attend concerts by your favorite artists. Consider adopting a pet, and keep fresh flowers or lit candles in your space to brighten your energy. Most importantly, stop putting so much pressure on yourself. You're doing amazingly well. The songs coming through reflect his current mental and emotional state regarding you. He still has completely unresolved feelings and thinks about you constantly. The energy shows "We Don't Talk Anymore" by Charlie Puth, representing his sadness about the lost communication. Reminiscing by Little River Band and Stuck on You by Lionel Richie show how he's trapped in memories of your connection. Here Without You by Three Doors Down and Better Off Without Me express his regret and recognition that you're thriving without him. For you, Divine Feminine, the songs reflect your current ascending energy. Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and The Waves and Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys represent your radiant, unstoppable energy. Who's Laughing Now by Jessie J perfectly captures how you've risen above this situation. Higher Love by Whitney Houston and No More Drama by Mary J. Blige show your elevated consciousness and freedom from toxic patterns. Wide Awake by Katy Perry and The Edge of Glory by Lady Gaga reflect your spiritual awakening and readiness to step into your power fully. You are ascending, vibrating high, and feeling genuinely content and blessed. Walking away from this person was the best decision you ever made, because he was holding you back from your destined blessings. You are exactly where you need to be, Divine Feminine, and your future is incredibly bright.